Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, I'm just about to top up my wet palette, so I thought I would make a quick video just showing you how easy it is to make wet palettes. Now, I went years and years and years not using a wet palette, and I have to say that after trying it out, I just could not go back. So if you don't use a wet palette, then I seriously suggest you do. Really saves wasting the paint, which is the main reason why I use it. So yes, very simple, very cheap. So this is how I do it. I use a takeaway tub. So make sure you get a takeaway and get a tub. And then I use just a sponge. Which you can see I've used this many times, just an old sponge. The only other thing you will need is obviously some water and some baking paper. This is the stuff that I use. It's lasted me forever. So all you do is pop your sponge into the bottom of the takeaway tub, and then just pour in some water. So you're just going to cover the sponge up. It will give it a few seconds because it will soak up the water. Give it a bit of a top up if you think it's needed. Don't want to overfill it, but you want the sponge to be wet without the water going over the top of the sponge. Then cut up your baking paper into a little square or into a rectangle, which I've done already. And then we're just going to place that onto the sponge. What you need to do is make sure you make the baking paper slightly smaller than the sponge, because then it will just stick down. And as you can see, that's stuck down on there. That's done. Yeah, so put your paint on there. It will last for hours, stay wet, days even. The next day, I usually find it lasts about 2 or 3 days like this. If you put it in the fridge, it will actually last much longer. Of course, you do need to put the lid on. So when you're not using it, pop the lid on, which stops the air getting to it. Now, I don't know how airtight these takeaway dishes are. You could get a proper airtight dish if you wanted to, but obviously these are basically free because we all have takeaways, pretty much. I'd imagine nearly all of us have takeaways. Yeah, so it really saves your paint. It saves you loads of money because, I mean, let's face it, you always tend to put too much paint onto the palette, and if you do that, half the time it just dries up and goes into the bin. So this, awesome, definitely do it, and effectively it's free. Because most people have takeaway tubs, most people have an old sponge, and most people will have baking paper in the cupboard, and obviously water's free. So there you go, just a quick tip. Hopefully it was useful to you, and as always, thanks for watching.